What's going on, people? My name is Jack. Welcome back to another video here on my channel. If you're new here, I produce daily content based around video editing, videography, and how to make money making videos. Subscribe if that sounds interesting to you. Today we're getting into types of freelance clients I've dealt with. If you're dealing with freelancing on the internet, especially now, these clients are obviously relevant sort of character types in sort of hand-to-hand freelancing as well. Let me mute that. But, mainly I'm going to be talking from the perspective of remote freelancing over the internet, where they'll send you the files, etc. For me, I'm a freelance video editor. They'll send you the files, you whip up everything, you send it back. But also this stuff's very applicable to all areas of freelance. Don't get me wrong. So today we're going to be talking about 3 different character types, which, have come up a fair few times when I've been remote freelancing. And, we're going to start off with a positive one, right? So the first one is the I love it client. The client who sort of really just enjoys whatever you're gonna send them, basically. Obviously there has to be a certain level of quality and everything like that, but it could go either way with a freelancer, right? Sometimes people are a super heavy micromanager. The I love it client is a client that you literally just, they send you the files, etc. You whip it up, and no matter what you're sending back to them, they love it, And I got a perfect person in mind, a guy called Jack Murray, who I worked with at the beginning of this year. This guy was definitely an I love it client, right? Now, my name's Jack Murray Cole. So already we were having a pretty good laugh at that from the start of the relationship. Overall rapport was built right away from us basically sharing the same name, damn near. And he would send footage to me. It was like marketing videos for real estate and marketing videos for Instagram, little pieces of micro content. And I would make some stuff of the keynotes that he would be doing, etc. Right, some little waveform videos, be doing some kind of little just meme video type of stuff, right? And basically, I don't think he ever asked me to change a single thing. It was just pure, I love it, right? Another client, which was definitely an I love it client, which actually wasn't remote video editing, was a client which I worked with probably about 4 or 5 months ago, something like that, which was a car dealership pretty close to me. I met this client in real life. We filmed like 4 promo videos for their cars that they were actually giving away. And this was definitely an I love it client as well. The I love it client is definitely an enjoyable client to have because you know that it's an easy process. You're not trying to stress yourself out over anything, and you know that the I love it client is honestly, in my analysis of my multiple I love it clients that I've had, they're usually the ones who are actually getting the most done. Now, the reason I say that is because a lot of the time they understand that they're kind of getting stuff done every day, and they sort of just treat you with the same respect as they kind of expect to be treated with themselves, being a kind of professional in their industry, being like someone who's actually getting it done at the end of the day. And also they value speed. A lot of people who are successful value speed, right? So they might not want to go and change a video. They might want to make the next one different, right? So a lot of the time, one of these I love it clients, I think it was Jack Murray actually, I think there was one thing we wanted to change one time, but he said, don't even change it, just apply what I've said to change to the next one, right? And the I love it client is always, not always, but in my experience, a very kind of productive person. They really just want to keep it moving, keep the ball rolling, so to speak, and they want to get quantity out there. They're not too worried about micromanaging and getting each individual project perfect. They value progress over perfection, which is a crucial theme that kind of emerges with people who are succeeding. It just is they value progress over perfection, and they'd rather get it out there and get it done. And that's same with the car dealership. The main man, Dean, right? So I had a meeting at the car dealership. We then decided we're going to shoot a bunch of promo videos. We shot a whole bunch of videos together, and he asked me to change the song for one of them one time, but that's the only thing he ever asked me to change. And, that's very, very, very minimal at the end of the day. Changes the song. You do have to resync some stuff, but it was absolutely fine for 1 out of the 4 projects. And, everything else, it was just phenomenal, great stuff. Let's get it out there. Awesome. When can we do the next one? Let's go. So the I love it client, that's a successful client right there. If you can get the I love it client, not only are they kind of usually, in my experience, giving you a bunch of work, but they're not really micromanaging stuff too heavy, which can be annoying. And also, they're seem to have a lot of work and they want to just keep bringing you back, keep doing more, right? So the I love it client, great client to look out for. Next up, in the opposite direction, the client who's got 1,000 adjustments. This client right here, I've dealt with a couple times as well. 2 seconds. Hell to the yes, the client who's got 1,000 adjustments. Now, this is a little bit more of a negative one, so I won't name anybody by name, but I'm damn sure thinking of some people by name. And this is the client who you'll send the video And, you know, they essentially respond nothing like, oh, great video, buddy, nothing like that. Oh, love it, you know what I mean? More like just a whole page of timestamps. There could be 204, change text. 309, too blurry. 409, well, too blurry actually could be a major thing. Actually could be a problem. It's usually not something that's actually a problem. It's usually nonsense stuff. You know, 309, increase font by 2, you know, something silly like that. 507, change color. All sorts of, like, you know what I mean? They're just putting the timestamps of the bits in the video that they want changed. And I've had clients who send me 15 of these timestamps. Boom, 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 boom. Change that, change this, change that, change this. And very interesting. It's very interesting indeed. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is definitely a micromanager right here. They happen. There's different types of people out there. This is 100% a micromanager. This is somebody who, you know, they're getting the job done. The video definitely comes out exactly how they wanted it. But, you know, it could be argued that they're a little bit too hands-on, and maybe they could take a little bit of the, you know, the sort of the essence of my I love it clients and apply it to what they're doing. But everybody works in different ways, and the videos we're always getting done very, very nicely at the end of the day. Obviously, if you know, we're doing 15 adjustments, you know what I mean? It's going to be really good. So the client who's got 1,000 adjustments, obviously 1,000 adjustments is an extreme exaggeration. I just said 15 was a lot, right? But makes a catchy title, right? The client with 1,000 adjustments is someone you're 100% going to come across. And funny enough, the client with 1,000 adjustments is usually someone who is actually sort of on the lower tier of clients in terms of scale of their business, in terms of you know, just success levels, etc. Right? And a lot of the time, we could go back to the, you know, there's no one size fits all. Let me preface that. But a lot of the time, the people who I've noticed who are really getting to it, really getting stuff done, are those, you know, clients who really aren't trying to micromanage the situation, and they're trying to get just quantity out there opposed to perfection. Progress over perfection is a theme that seems to come up quite a lot, right? The client who's got 1,000 adjustments, that's the one right there. Finally, the lost in translation client. This client will inevitably come across if you are in the remote video editing field, the remote freelancing field in general, right? And I've been telling this story on my channel for a year plus, but I dealt with a client one time who was a Vietnamese cryptocurrency trading platform. That's a bit of a mouthful, but it was a Vietnamese-based cryptocurrency trading platform. And basically, we were building the promo video for it. It was an animated promo video put together through premium templates via Envato Elements, right? And basically, it's like a 30-second video. I got paid very nicely for about $1,100, something like that. The 100 was like the fees for buying the premium templates, though. So I got $1,000 for it, right? Nice budget, relatively decent, but we went back and forth so much that the $1,000 turned into just not even close to what I probably should have been paid for that, based on all the back and forth we had to go. And the reason is, it's because they're Vietnamese. And I am not Vietnamese. Therefore, things were getting lost in translation. Neither of us fully spoke the other language. They spoke much more English than I spoke Vietnamese, don't get me wrong, but they didn't fully, you know, speak it necessarily, right? And, you know, things definitely get lost in translation. And if you're remote video editing on the internet, remote freelancing, because this can be applied to anything, you'll probably come up against a client who does not speak your, you know, their first language isn't necessarily your language, and they might tell you something like, you know, change the quality, and then you're thinking, hold on, you know, it's 1080p already. Do they want it to be 4K? Like, what do they mean by quality? And you do that, and then they're like, no, the quality, and you're like, what? I just changed the quality, and then they say, oh, no, we mean design. It's like, oh, okay, so you're saying quality. That's your word that you thought meant design, but you know what I mean? So things are getting lost in translation by them simply just not knowing the correct lingo to use. And no one can really be blamed for a situation like that. That's the situation, right? It's just, well, I could see how that happened. Hey, man, screw it, you know? But a lot of time can be wasted in a situation like that. But at the end of the day, that right there is a client you'll probably come across. It's the client who, you know, might be telling you to do something, you do it, and then they're like, no, that's not what I told you. And you're telling them, no, that literally is what you just told me. And then they're saying, no, I meant it this way. But it's like, you know, basically no one could be blamed for that situation. It's just what happens, more or less. You know, if both you speak a different language, you're communicating with each other, and things are getting lost in translation. And that right there is 3 client types that I've dealt with a fair few times. And those right there are just a couple examples as well that I've talked about. And at the end of the day, if you are remote freelancing on the internet, you'll run into these characters almost certainly. And tell me in the comment section if you've run into them already. And also, if you're thinking of some other ones in your mind that you personally have had to deal with and, went positively, went negatively, however the case may be, tell me in the comment section. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. Have a nice day. Thanks for tuning into the video, guys. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. because I'm super active there, posting every day. Hell, I'm putting 3 posts up today on Instagram, 2 posts from a shoot, a clip from a podcast. We're going in, providing lots of value, making a lot of fun, entertaining content for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Follow me up, hit me up there if you want to talk more. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.